All right, I'll count us in with three, two, one.
All right, welcome to episode 108 of the Narcissistic Music Disorder.
What's up, my brother? How are you?
¿Qué está pasando?
Okay, I only speak English. I took 2 years of college Spanish, and I cheated in the second semester of it. I don't speak any Spanish at all, so
I said, what's
I don't
going
speak.
on?
Oh, it's beautiful. It sounded great. What's going on? I've been sick all week, the whole week. I get out of work, take Seltzer Plus, cold medicine, go to bed.
Oh, yeah,
Lost
good
lost my
stuff.
voice completely on Thursday. Came back for the gig. Thank you, God. I appreciate that again. And yeah, now it's just hanging on, and it's gross, and I hate it. You can hear it in my voice, but outside of that, not so bad. Not so bad. Our topic today. I, I think some of our listeners were confused because they just rattled off lists like how many they could come up with. I picked songs that I listen to and like and would
Yeah.
be, some of my favorite songs. I didn't just go, oh, it meets the topic and I put it out. I mean, I have a reason why I like each of these
Did you
songs.
see I
God,
know
some people
she's
had
I know she's not a listener, but Mrs. NMD, Mrs. Merchant, she had a song, Hot Roxanne, but
that's hurtful.
I had to correct her though on the spelling of it.
Thank you so much, dude.
Because
You know
she put
what?
Roxanne like the Police style,
No, of
and I
course not.
said no, it's.
Of course.
And
It's
she said,
rocks.
"Oh,
It's
you're." She said, "I didn't know you were aware." I said, "Yeah, I'm a big fan of the songwriter."
yeah, you know what? One day I will bust them out on the show and I will read the lyrics to Hot Roxanne. I was in seventh grade or eighth grade. It's very sexualized.
But
It's
yeah,
erotic, if you will. There's it's the perfect marriage of say Prince and Motley Crue, maybe,
there you go.
with some spoken word Dio stuff in there. So yeah, it is. It's hot rocks
Rocks
like stone and
and
so keep that right. So that being said, and boy, I will make sure to thank Mama Merchant for her with her involvement in the show. Now the time she decides to comment, she sells me out on my seventh grade song lyrics, which I really appreciate. What's today's topic?
it's songs with a female name in the title.
Some of the richest songwriting, fodder is female, which is weird. I'm trying to. If you think of the opposite of that, like songs with guys' names in it or male names, I want to be correct in this, but like what? Hey Joe, and
Right?
I don't know, I don't know. Anyhow, so yeah, songs with female names in them. I have a list.
Where the hell is
Like
Bill? That's a old Camper Van Beethoven song.
a big bad Bill of Sweet William now.
Oh yeah, there
Um,
Van Halen cover. Yeah.
so there's I will say, like I said, some of the folks post. There were some good posts too. That was a bummer. People were using some good ones, and they were eating up some of my choices, I think. But it's not just songs with female. These are songs I like and listen to
Yes,
and have for years,
mine
and
too.
I have reasons for each of them and why I like them so much musically and subject wise and all that. So, yeah, I've got a pretty good list. I'm happy with my list. I don't think we might not cross paths on this one.
We
I feel
might, maybe.
I have one song on here. I have one song on here that I would consider pretty stock, like a pretty universal choice. So maybe that one. But I'll have you open us up and start with your first pick.
Well, maybe. Yeah, it's Good Lord Lori by the Turnpike
Yeah,
Troubadours.
dude. I don't have it on my list. I love that song. I love Turnpike
That's my
Troubadour.
favorite record.
That's that song rocks too. It's such a great song. It'll always now for the rest of my life will always hold the distinction. It's the first song that my son and I played together on stage, him on drums, me on guitar.
Yes.
Um, and when I messed him up for his first ever real public live performance, I screwed him up by counting him in wrong.
Oh, because the
Um,
drums started. Yeah.
yeah, so the drums start Good Lord Lori with this kind of snare thing,
Yeah.
this kind of rolly thing, and then there's the count, there's a four count in. I actually panicked. I thought he wouldn't do it or he wasn't going to get it or whatever. And so I
He
counted us
nailed
off.
it.
Of course he nailed it. And I screwed us up. Like Greg and Johnny, the bass player, they both look at me. They know I screwed it up. And my kid has to pull the click out of his ear because I counted us off time. So yeah, good Lord, Lori, there's lines in that song that are just killer too. I mean,
I've used
every
one on the end show lyrics.
yeah, I think you did one time. I feel like I remember that. What was the lyric? Do you remember what one it was?
It was better put a little money where your mouth is, boy, or try
Or
and
try
keep
to
it
keep it
closed.
closed. Yeah. Yeah.
They're shaking dominoes.
Yeah, that's a great line. Um, I like the shaking dominoes line. I like where
Is that just a
bought us both.
Southern thing? Because my great grandpa and I used to play dominoes together
I
too.
don't think it is. I mean, the
I have his old dominoes, which is
I've
awesome.
never played. I don't even know how to play dominoes. I only know
We
how to
played
set
at
them up and knock them
21.
down. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen it done. Rappers are always cool when they're playing dominoes. As a matter of fact, I believe in "It Was a Good Day." Ice Cube has a good day because he wins at dominoes.
Ah,
Yeah, and he wins at basketball that day.
and he didn't have to use his
I
AK.
didn't have to use his AK. What a
Yeah.
fantastic day for him. Yeah, good Lord, Lord, Turnpike Troubadours. I love that band.
Goodbye,
I
Normal Street. Yeah, great
I
record.
got hip to them. A friend from high school turned me on to them, and
Okay.
I'm glad she did because I really like that band. I was late to the game, but I love them. Let's see. My first pick. So many good ones. Should I go? No, I'm gonna go with this one. This song is called "Tomorrow, Wendy," by Concrete Blonde.
Oh, wow.
It's off Bloodletting, the album that had Joey on it.
Yep.
I think "Tomorrow, Wendy" might have been a single. It's really dark and cool, and it's got some lines in it too, man. I mean, there's some humdingers. It's basically the chorus is, "Hey, hey, goodbye, tomorrow, Wendy, you're going to die." And there's some lines in there like hell, let me think about the one where she talks about the second coming. It says something about the second coming, and then it says God got his ass kicked the first time he came down here slumming. I mean, it's like, whoa, there's some darkness to it. Yeah. And it's just such a good song. It's dark and moody, and it's on that famous the Bloodletting album that had, Joey was the single, which is a great
Yeah.
song too. But Tomorrow Wendy is a fantastic song. That's the one that if like someone is talking to me about Concrete Blonde, I always ask about that song because that song's so cool. I mean, Joey's a great song too, and it was a huge single for them. But Tomorrow Wendy's better, and that's my first female name song I like. What do you got next?
I have from Andy Timmons, his album Orange Swirl. He has a song called Nobody Cares About Julie.
Oh, cool.
And that album is very his
Is that
his
vocal?
Beatleness comes through there.
Is that a vocal album or
Yes,
instrumental? It's vocal. Okay. Does
vocal.
he
Yep.
sing on it?
He sings, yes.
Oh, wow. Cool. And
It's
now you want to hear we had a conversation before the show started, and I'm not gonna get into it, but now I'm afraid to even mention Danger Danger. Like, oh, hairband. But
oh yeah.
um um but yeah, Andy Timmons was in Danger Danger and is a jazz guy and is
Yep.
now kind of I
He
think
played with Simon Phillips.
he might have been a Mike Varney guy at one time. Like a instrumental
Shrapnel
record.
guy.
Yep. Yep. If
Yeah.
not, he was in that Richie Kotz and Paul Gilbert. He kind of was living in that instrumental world too, maybe a little more
Yeah.
jazzy, but
I think all those guys are around the same age.
I think they are too.
Reb
All
Beach
those
and
shred
all
guys.
those shredder guys.
Yeah. And
But
Andy Timmons is really good too, man. He's a
Andy's like,
really good guitar.
yeah, his first few records, like Ear Ecstasy and Ear Ecstasy 2, are instrumental mostly. But Orange Swirl it's very Beatley. I mean, he's a huge Beatles guy. He did
Yeah.
Sergeant Pepper's.
Like
That
redid the
was a
whole thing.
whole album of Sergeant
Yeah.
Pepper's.
See, that's funny how many because Paul Gilbert's a big Beatle guy too.
Yeah. And well, who else? Cheap Trick did a whole Sergeant Pepper's concert too.
Yeah, they just did one. They're
Uh,
still doing it. They still go out and do that from
I
time
have
to
it on
time, I think.
DVD. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, their Cheap Trick is killer. Yeah, but we digress. We're back to Andy Timmons. I just sold probably a month ago an Andy Timmons overdrive pedal for anyone who cares.
Oh,
And I sold
nice.
it super cheap. So there you have it.
So yeah,
All
Andy
right.
Timmons' Orange Swirl record. Check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know he sang. I'll be
Yeah,
interested to hear that. I'm going to write that on my note. Hang on. I'll listen to that one, posting the show up.
it's got like
Um,
a orangish. Well, it's called Orange Swirl. It's got
Orange
like an
swirl,
orangish yellow cover.
like a swirl almost.
Yeah, I think his face
It's
might be
called
on
the
the
White
cover,
Album. It's all white.
but
And that wasn't called the White Album, by the way. It was just called the Beatles. My next pick. This is a female name. Yeah, we know from the song. It's Fancy by Bobby Gentry.
oh yes,
I love that song, and I don't hate Reba's version of it. But the cool, the I'm sure the cool thing would be to just say how shitty Reba McEntire's was and what a sellout she is, and blah blah blah. It's pretty good. She does a great job with it. But the Bobby Gentry one is cooler, I think,
not a
but
fan of
it's
Reba.
great. And you know what? You don't
Never
have to
have
be.
been though.
You don't have to be. The song, she does a good job with it. She's pretty respectful of it. Reba McEntire, you can say whatever you want about her, but she's a great singer and she sings the shit out of the song. And Fancy's a great song. It's a great story song. It could be on the story song episode we did. It's
Absolutely.
the story is just, and there's just some imagery in there I really like. The kind of, I think it's a cockroach runs across her open-toed shoe, and it's just
Yep.
killer. And there's like this brothel prostitution vibey thing. I'm gonna try to move this because I can't see you the way I
That
want
whole
to.
that whole record is great.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
called
yeah.
Fancy.
And I have it. I probably over there have
It
probably
might
Bobby
have,
Gentry's greatest
I don't
hits or
know if
something.
that has Find 'em, Fool 'em, and Forget 'em on it. I think it might, or that or Patchwork. Those are both
And
great records from her, though.
what's this other song I like by her? Is it the Oklahoma River Bottom Band? I like that song too. That's a good Bobby Gentry tune.
She
Of course,
does
everybody loves it. Oh shit! Is
Delta Man. She does that
Yeah.
one.
Is
Yeah, she's awesome.
I'm trying to think.
He
No.
made a
Okay.
woman out of me is a great one. Yeah.
She was a great singer and a great
Of
artist.
course, Ode to Billy Joe is that's
Is the
on.
jam. That's the jam.
It's,
It's a great
I
song.
think that's the last song on that record.
What do you got next?
I have from I have a double. I'm pulling a merchant from the artist Andrew Combs. He has two songs that I love
He
with
he
female
comes up with
names.
you a lot, by the way.
And he's a
That
Well, he's a Texas guy, but he lives in Nashville, I believe. But he has two songs, one called Hazel and one called Emily.
okay.
And there's a really cool video of him doing the song Emily on YouTube in like I'm not sure where it is, but it's in like a cave type of thing.
It's not.
And it's with this band called Steelism.
Huh.
They're an instrumental band that I dig. I think the steel player is British, and I think the guitarist is from like maybe from Nashville, but Steelism is
Oh.
pretty cool. But they do Emily with him, and it's a really fun, cool song.
Yeah,
Hazel is a bit more serious, but an amazing song. It's from his I can't remember, Canyons of My Mind record, I think.
I wonder if that cave there's a cool six-string drag kind of show from a cave type thing too.
I
That's
think it
really cool.
says where it is when you watch the first part of the video, but
I have to
it's
check it
really
out.
cool.
I have to
Andrew
check it out.
Combs,
All right. And Hazel, that's a
Hazel, and
a
Emily.
good
Yep.
old school name. I'm not a lot of kids, not a lot of newborns named Hazel anymore. I bet you.
One of my grandma's best friends' name was Hazel.
Yeah, I knew so. Like I think my grandma had a Hazel in her life, or we might have, but generationally speaking, I don't know any Hazels now. Um, all right, where am I at on my list here? You know what? I'll go a little more predictable because this is a killer tune, and I like when I know who the tune's about and I can actually see the person, which is kind of cool. There's pictures of. So I picked "Oh Sherry" by Steve Perry.
Oh yes, I knew this was going to come up today.
I love this song.
Great
I don't
song.
know. I don't know if you're supposed to hate it or if it's supposed to be too
Does it
poppy or
does that kick off Street Talk?
probably. I
I
mean,
think
dude,
it
I didn't
does.
buy his solo album. I'll be honest with you. I
Track
mean, I like
one.
that tune, but I hope it kicks it off because it's that cold start with his kick ass voice.
Yes.
You know, yeah, that's a cool song. And there's pictures of him with her. I don't know if
Right.
they're married
In the
or if they were
video,
married.
maybe?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
literally her. Yeah, yeah, she's super cute. You know, kind of.
Killer song.
It's a killer song, and he's got such great. And I'm trying to think of who. I'll have to research. Someone famous played on it. Like the backing band is
Oh, I
somewhat
bet. Yeah.
famous. I just don't remember who played on it. You know, and when I get to it, it'll be someone like Neil Giraldo, you know, from Pat Benatar or something like that.
Dean
It's someone.
Castronovo or somebody like
Yes,
that,
it'll be
maybe.
someone. But I mean, this would have been in what 82 or three.
79, 80,
Well, oh Sherry.
around there, probably. No, because Journey was still
No,
going on then.
no, your
So like 81,
video.
82.
I'm gonna go later. I'm gonna say 83.
Okay.
Hang on, let me check the research department real quick. I wonder if I can do that right here, just because this kind of stuff will bug the shit out of me. Let's see. Oh, Sherry, Steve Perry. Oh, I like saying that too. That's fun. Do I have a year on this thing? 84,
84.
1984.
We just
Yes,
did an episode on 1984.
I know.
Man.
And oh, Sherry didn't come up. Yeah, great tune. Great. I also wonder what it's like to be in Journey and then be like, oh shit, you know, the dude comes out with this huge single and video, and you know, are you jealous of that? I would be, but I'm jealous by nature. I'm jealous by nature. All right, what's your next one?
It is Saturnalia from my friends from Chicago. Hello, Dave.
You've mentioned that band. I've heard of that band as long as I can remember.
It's from their oh, which album is it from? Headed West? No, that's you guys.
Yeah, right.
That's you guys. They have a song called West.
Is
Uh
do they have a connection to our area in some way, or just that they're from Chicago?
Mike, the singer, is from, I believe, from Sturgis, Michigan.
Okay. I just
So
seems like I heard their name in that scene, that Grand Rapids scene a lot. Maybe
they
they came
well,
up
they
to
used
play
to
a lot.
be on B93. They have a song called Michigan that they used to play on the radio around here.
They were on B93, the country station?
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah. They used to actually funny story. They opened for, oh dude, you remember the 90s band Little Texas?
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brady Seals was the singer. The
Okay.
main, well, they a lot of them sang, but he was the
He
main
was the main
guy.
singer.
Well, Brady Seals was in GR. Hello Dave was opening. So like 30 of us fans that, most of like my family and my wife's family, we all went, friends. There was like 30, 40 of us.
Wow.
And um and other people, while we're standing in line, radio station walks up to me, and this has happened to me multiple times. Radio station walks up to me like, "Oh, you excited about Brady Seals tonight?" I'm like, "I'm here to see Hello Dave."
Okay. Next listener. Let's go to the next
And yeah,
way to ruin it, dude.
yeah.
Way to ruin
So,
it.
but dude, he was pissed, I guess, because Hello Dave played and like half the crowd or more left,
God, that's brutal.
and he was pissed off because
Who can that is a shitty feeling, I assure
when you
you.
get upstaged by a band from Chicago.
Dude, it is a shitty feeling when some like you have a band play before you and they bring all their friends and then they either all bolt, which happens,
Yep.
or they just ignore you, which really sucks too. But anyhow, I'm used to it now.
It must feel like
Um
it's what it feels like to open for 500 miles to Memphis.
yeah,
I gotta follow that.
dude, I'll tell you, man. That band, I can't even get into it, but what a kick-ass band. I've just been back into 500 miles recently. All right, sidetrack. I'm back into my list. You know what? I'll do my predictable one. This is predictable. I think people on our page mentioned it, and it should be mentioned because it's so good. But Angie by the Stones. I
Okay.
love that song. I mean, it's
Yes.
pretty predictable, and it might seem like a stock choice, but it's I don't know, man. It's a great tune. There's no
Richie
denying it.
Kotzen does a great cover of it.
I just saw Richie Kotzen on stage all fired up. Somebody in the crowd was doing something to him and he lost his shit, dude. He was,
Really?
I don't know
Wow.
what they were doing, man.
Huh.
I don't know. And I don't know. I think about this a lot. I've thought about this for years about musicians and rock stars and all that. Like, I don't know how tough Richie Kotzen's I mean, he's a great looking dude, right? And obviously in fairly good shape, but I don't know how tough he is, but he is really looking at whomever did this and like gesturing like he wants to fight him. And I've always been like, dude, what happens? Like, if Marilyn Manson wants to fight you, I mean, I'm not Rocky Balboa, but I can beat up Marilyn Manson. Do you get a chance to beat that person up, or do their security come in before you ever get an opportunity and beat the shit out of you? Like three guys beat you up. I've always wondered that because I
Yeah, I
had
don't
my
know.
rock star run in, where the
Richie
dude acted.
Kotzen seems like the guy to me that in his spare time takes Brazilian jiu-jitsu
Yeah,
though.
he might be that
Yes.
dude too. Yeah,
He
for
seems
sure.
like that kind of
He
guy to
does.
me.
He does. He does for sure. Yeah, Angie by the Stones is a classic. I mean, the guitar to everything about it's awesome. It's it's I've heard it done really well by people. I've heard it done really badly. But it in itself, all those acoustic based Stone stuff like Salt of the Earth and Angie and Dead Flowers and what other acoustic driven songs. I mean, that's Angie is one of those songs that is a side of the Stones. I love country Stones. You know what I mean? So Angie's in there for
Yeah.
sure.
Tori
What do you
does
got
a great
next?
cover of it.
Who?
Tori,
Oh yeah,
she
I
does
bet she
Angie.
does. I bet she's just humping the air so hard during that. All right, what do you got next?
One you might have, Amy from Ryan Adams' Heartbreaker.
Oh no, I don't. That's a great tune,
It's
dude.
so sad.
I covered that tune for a while.
I
Way
mean,
back in
she's
the
the
when
muse of
Heartbreaker
that
came out.
record, so
I love that song. Wow, good pick, man.
yeah.
That's a good pick. Oh, that's a really good pick. Yeah.
I mean,
Sad.
I've been listening to Wednesdays, I think it's called from Ryan Adams. It's newer.
Okay.
It's good.
I was listening to some Ryan um and Whiskey Town a couple weeks ago. I got
Yeah.
back into because I was gonna play. I did a week ago, I guess. I decided I would pull out Jacksonville Skyline again and play that.
Okay. Yep.
And
Oh,
so
you
that got me
played it?
yeah. And so it got me into listening to Ryan again and I did. Man, Amy's such a good song. Wow, that's a good pick. That could be on my list. This one I really like too. This has some great lines in it. It's called Annabelle. It's by Gillian Welch. It's on
I
sorry.
know the song, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Um we leased 20 acres and one Ginny mule from the Alabama Trust. For half of the cotton, third of the corn, we get a handful of dust. Um, what is that album? It's not Time the Revelator. It's the one before that, Revival, I think. It's her debut.
Okay.
It's such a good song. It's dark, It's about a dead little girl, basically. Had a daughter, called her Annabelle. She's the apple of my eye, and all this stuff. It's if you get a chance, check it out. Plus, now there's someone. Gillian Welsh and David Rawlings have been big on my list lately. I've been hitting that pretty hard,
There's a
and that
famous
that album was big for me. Revival. I think it's Revival. You were saying, I'm sorry, you were about to
there's a
say something.
famous doll named Annabelle that's like
So like a haunted.
supposedly haunted or something.
You have you
I think
ever?
they made a movie about it.
They did. I can remember seeing it. Do you want to hear? Here's a quick side trip. Have you ever heard of Robert the Doll in Key West? There's this Robert the Doll, and he's in this, and it's like there's this whole thing where you're not supposed to take his picture or do anything, and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And so we go to this place in Key West one day, Todd Long and I, and I can't swear to it, but if I had money, I would guess it was daytime and I was awake, so I was probably pretty drunk. And we went there and we're just looking around, and it's like, don't take pictures without asking permission. Don't do that. And no lie, dude, Todd is standing right there and is like, click, click, and says something like, screw it or whatever. Gets home and like, as soon as we get back home, bam, bam, it's like all this stuff. So much so that you supposedly you can like write a letter asking for, for like apologizing. And Todd did.
Oh, wow.
It was that bad,
Got
dude.
followed
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, man. And you know me, I'm drunk and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want it to go. I got enough problems already. I got to just try to stay sober for this. Yeah. So that was Annabelle by Gillian Welch and a little story about Todd being haunted by a doll. What do you
Well,
have next?
I have two that you may have as well. They are
Okay.
Livia and Sherry Baby from The Great Affairs.
I was going to put them both on. I didn't, but I put
Yeah. I mean, one's
my
from four. Livia's from Everybody Moves,
everybody
Nobody
moves,
Gets
nobody
Hurt.
gets her.
Yeah.
Um, Livia is the song on the song that I may have for that album hooked me. I think it was even my son likes that song. We both learned it. Both of us at one time could play it on guitar.
It's
Um,
track 3 or 4, I
yeah.
think.
And the single with the video was I'm All Right, which is really good too.
That's what
Um,
got, well, I mean, I was already into them because of 10 and 2, but
yeah, what's the song? The first Great Affairs song I ever heard was What You Get Is Gone.
yes,
That's the first one I ever heard. Then Livia was probably my big hook. Sherry Baby's great too.
that's from
I just
4.
that's
Yep.
in my truck right now. That their greatest hits is in my truck right now. And that's oh yeah, that's a killer tune, and it could be on my list either of those.
That's
Because
one
I
he's
mean,
playing a telly in the video, I think.
for what
Butterscotch telly,
for
Cherry Baby.
Sherry? Yes, he is, and
Yeah.
it looks like it's in the rehearsal spot, and he still
Yeah.
looks cool, and yeah, yeah, it's great. That's a great tune, man. What a great band. Guitar tones are the bomb. Yeah, good pick. And either of those could have been my list of course. I have to probably give Denny some space. I'm sure he's getting creeped out. Let's move on. For me, I have a Sweet Annette from the Drive By Truckers.
Mm, that's a
Um,
Patterson tune, right? Yes.
and I also have Little Bonnie, which is a Patterson tune. Little Bonnie's off I think it's off A Blessing and a Curse.
I
One of
think
those,
you're right.
there were a couple of Truckers albums that weren't super well received in there, like A Blessing and a Curse, Brighter Than Creation's
Creation's
Dark,
Dark. Yeah.
and A Blessing and a Curse is cool. It has February 14th on it. It has Daybreak. Um, there is it Daylight. When we still have the Daylight by
That's
Isbell.
the last Jason one, right? Blessing and a Curse.
Yes, he's not on Brighter Than Creation's Dark. Yeah,
I don't,
plus that, and so it is. I think Little Bonnie's on, and that's all about like all the neighbors chipped in and bought a marble stone for her, and it's
and
really
Annette
good.
is, doesn't
Yeah,
he
cheats
leave,
on
he
her.
cheats
Yeah,
on with her friend,
leaves her
right?
standing at the altar. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great tune. So yeah, either Sweet Annette or Little Bonnie by Drive By Truckers. I would recommend listening to both. All right, what do you got next?
Some more from some more friends from Chicago, the band Mr. Blotto.
I've heard of them
They
too.
have 3 songs: Kelly Marie, Delilah, and Lo Loretta.
Say
Um,
Lola Red.
yeah, that's from their
Okay,
Bad Hair Day record. The
okay.
other the other two are on their album called Cabbages and Kings, I believe. So if you're
So,
into the Dead, um, you're into Mr. Blotto.
oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of those guys.
Yeah, they're
So
great.
these like Hello Dave and Mr. Blotto and those are bands that for some reason were in that Grand Rapids scene. Either they
Not
came up here to play or some I remember
Blotto. Blotto
hearing
came
about them.
to, I don't know if, I don't remember Blotto ever coming to GR. I discovered Blotto in St. Joseph, Michigan,
Okay.
at a club
Well,
called Czars.
yeah. Somebody who listens, I hope, will share this with me. But there is some connection in the Grand Rapids scene. I know there is. because those dudes, that name came up, Mr. Blotto, right? That's the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why, but
Hello
it's
Dave
connected
used
to
to
it.
play in town with like Troll for Trout and stuff like
Right,
that.
right. Yep,
And well,
yep.
actually, Michael produced a Hello Dave record.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense. I don't know Michael super well, but I just listened to a record he did with Spencer Mulder, that Rewind record.
Oh, dude.
That thing sounds great, man.
All of Drew Nelson's records sound
Yeah,
fantastic. Michael
yeah,
did those. He did a Hello Dave record.
yeah. He's really gifted. He makes great that Spencer Mulder record sounds so good. Um,
All the Troll for Trout records sound fantastic. And
yeah, he does a good job, doesn't he?
yeah.
Let's see, where am I headed next? All right. My next pick is a song called Kelly Richards by the Gin Blossoms. Do you
Yeah.
have that? You know the song I'm talking about?
Yes.
Kelly Richards, come on, come
It's
on.
was it
It's about a adult movie star.
okay.
Yeah, that's the tune. I was read her books, I read all her magazines. I studied her every move till I saw her in my dreams. Yeah, it's about an adult actress, Kelly Richards. Um, I don't know what album. I had it on an EP
New
that had
Miserable Experience or
it's not on that record. I
no?
don't think. I think
Okay.
I had an EP that came out before that had Kelly Richards on it. It had
I can't remember the other
a
early one.
it had a couple of the like a couple songs that were on New Miserable Experience. And
Like
then what
Found
was the
Out
other
About
song?
You or Hate
It might have been
Jealousy
that
or
too. No,
something.
it wasn't Hey Jealousy. The other
Okay.
song was Meet Me Out Past the Cottonwoods where we ran as kids. South of Nowhere. Just south
Oh,
of nowhere. That was on there too. Anyhow, yeah. So Kelly Richards by the Gin Blossoms. That's a good one for me about an adult actress. What do you got next?
from John Mayer, Something Like Olivia.
Ooh, that's a great title.
It's
That's a
a
great title.
fantastic song about it's about a girl named Olivia who's taken, but he says in the song, if she showed up at my door, I'd have a hard time turning her away. And something like Olivia is what I'd like to find is a great line in that song.
Oh yeah, cool. And who's it by again?
John Mayer.
John Mayer. John Mayer. Yeah. God, you are a John Mayer fan. I
I'm
like that
really
about
into
you.
him now. You better be okay with that.
Sounds like Stewie.
It is Stewie.
Is it?
What he
I
does,
nailed
it's
it.
what he does
Yeah.
steroids that
Oh
episode.
yeah. I'm really into him now. You better be okay with it. Uh, I've actually added to my list while we've been doing this because this song, I love this song. I've loved it since I was a little kid. I play it every time I play, I think. Ruby by Kenny. Well, it's a Kenny Rogers song written by Mel Tillis.
Yeah.
You painted up your. I mean, dude, that's the best. There's so
I'll
many
take
lines in there.
you to town. Yep.
It's the shadow on the wall tells me the sun is going down. That's a great line. That's a
Yeah.
great, great, great visual line. Hard to love a man whose legs are bent and paralyzed. The
Mm.
wants and the needs of a woman your age, Ruby, I realize. I mean, that's killer. It won't be long, I heard him say, until I'm not around. So yeah, Ruby's always a great one. So is um uh another song that just came to me that's not on my list is Lucille. You picked a fine
Yeah.
time to leave me, Lucille. That's great too. And I kind of group those together. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you why. Because my dad's second wife's name is Ruby, and his third wife was my mom, Lucille. Those were always together. So Ruby and
Ah.
Lucille always stuck in my head. All right, what do you got next?
I have from Brian Fallon, one from Brian
Yeah.
Fallon. It's called Rosemary.
Huh.
And then not sure which solo album it's on, Painkillers, or I'm not sure which one it's on, but he also has one in his Gaslight Anthem band called May, which is just a fantastic song. That's
Yeah,
on
I'm
Handwritten.
oh man, it's a great record. It's a great record. I
Yeah.
listened to, I you got me hooked on them, and I like a couple of those records I bought for sure. Although I've just excuse me, I've spent more time with Handwritten and the 59 sound, but I also own American Slang and haven't dove deep into that yet.
Yeah. And once you get hooked
Um,
on that, then I'll get you into his solo stuff. One of them is
all right.
produced by Butch.
Oh, nice. I bet that's killer.
I can't remember which one. It's one of he's got like three. Then he had an EP that came out on like Record Store Day that has like Tin Pan Alley and a couple other songs. One, I think a song called Georgia and one other song, but that's cool too. But yeah, Butch produced one of them.
Killer, man. I bet that's a great pairing.
I'm just glad the Gaslight Anthem is back because the new album, History Books, is fantastic. So,
What's Brian Fallon's deal? Is he an alcoholic or a drug user at one time? He's had some problems, right? He
uh,
always see there was some personal problem going on in that band, wasn't there? Were they like always on the cusp of breaking up or
well,
something? Or
his his wife now he's married to a girl named Stacy, but his wife before that, I believe, was I want to say the drummer or the bass player, one of the guy's sister,
oh boy,
and they got
oh
divorced.
boy, oh boy,
So that I don't think there was anything as far as drugs or alcohol
substance
that I
abuse.
could think
I
of
just
with
saw Brian Fallon
those guys.
recently somewhere, and I will tell you this, and I'm not hating, I swear to God, but he's put on a lot of weight, dude.
Oh, he referenced it at the show. He quit smoking.
Oh, that'll do it.
And he said he's working with a trainer, and he referenced as it at the show. It was actually really
Yeah.
funny because he's like,
Which
"Yeah,
is
I
how
know,
you
I
that's
got
how you
fat."
want someone to do it. I mean, really, I appreciate that way more than,
He just
it
brought it.
being
He
the
just
elephant
brought
there.
it up. It was
That's
great.
killer. That's killer. Yeah.
He's like, "I
Yeah,
quit
he's
smoking, and I found all the sugar."
yeah, that'll happen. That'll
So,
happen for sure. Yeah, he's cool. And they're watching them do what I think they do one of the late night shows has like a concert almost where it's not on the show, but they put on a concert and it's like late night with David Letterman, maybe, but it's a
okay,
whole show and they do some killer stuff on there. I've watched a couple things and I watched his rig rundown. That's really fun. He's a good kind of a guitar amp
yep.
nerd too, a little bit. What do I have next? My next pick is Janie Jones by The Clash,
Oh, dang! How did I miss
which
that one?
is that's one I love The Clash.
Track one.
I'm not always like humping The Clash like I'm Joe Clash guy because that's also I mean that there's some definite Clash posers. There's some definite Clash
Isn't
posers.
Janie Jones an anti-weed song?
Well, it's the line in it. I'm in love with rock and roll. Oh, I'm in love with getting stoned. Oh, I mean that's one of the lines. I'm in
Yeah,
love with Janie Jones. Whoa, and I when I first heard it, I was like, I used to think it said I'm in love with the rock and roll world. I'm
yeah.
in love with the rock and roll world, but it's just whoa. I don't know. There's so many songs. What's the other one I could have picked too? The other Clash tune. Oh my God, I'm gonna forget the female name. I don't think it's Oh God, dang it! Now I got to go to. It's gonna
Uh,
bother me. It's the it's not Susie either. Susie's been working for the drug squad. Oh God, dang it! It's a Clash tune. Oh, I'm embarrassed right now.
I can't think of what you.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of Janie Jones, so I wasn't even.
Julie. It is. It's Julie's been working for the drug squad.
Oh,
Julie's been
okay.
working for the drug squad. I think it's off. I think it's off. Give them enough rope. It's killer, man.
Um,
But yeah, Janie Jones that's one of my favorite Clash songs. My all-time favorite Clash song
yes,
is. What's your favorite Clash song? Do you
probably
have one?
Janie Jones.
My favorite
Bank
Clash tune.
robbers, great.
That's great too. My favorite is I'm so bored with the USA.
Speaking of,
I'm so bored with the
oh yeah.
USA.
Speaking of Brian Fallon has a line in one of his songs where he says, "I never knew who my daddy was, so I always pretended he was a bank robber."
Ooh, that's cool. That's really cool, man. Yeah. See, there you go. That's what songwriters do right there. That's awesome. What do you got next, dude?
This is my last one,
Lay it on me.
and they have four:
Oh, wow. Okay.
Rosanna, Henrietta, Jeannie Nitro, and Chelsea Dagger from the Fratellis.
Wow. Coming in heavy with the
Chelsea
Fratellis. God,
Dagger is
guys
his
in the
wife,
fucking
actually.
I feel like I've heard that tune.
His wife
What's the
is
tune you turned? What tune did you want me to listen to? You said the first Fratelli song I should listen to, and I did, and
Halloween
I didn't.
Blues.
I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I wasn't blown away. Remember, I'm like, I'm not getting this, and everybody loves the Fratellis, and I wasn't getting it. I don't remember, but anyhow, I don't get a lot of
Chelsea
things, dude.
Dagger is well, Chelsea they play Chelsea Dagger when the Chicago Blackhawks score a goal.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, because my old coworker, he was from Chicago, and I was playing the Fratellis one day at work, and he's like, "Hey, they play this when the Blackhawks score."
But he didn't know who it was.
No, he's like, "What
Oh,
is it?"
that's
I'm like,
cool.
"Oh, it's Fratellis. They're a band from Scotland."
I wonder what the. Do you know what the connection is?
I don't know where that's from, but Chelsea Dagger is his wife is like a burlesque dancer, and
Oh,
that
wow.
was her. That's her name, Chelsea Dagger. It was off from Britney Spears, so she went with Chelsea
Chelsea
Dagger.
Dagger. I like it. I like it. That's pretty good, man. Man, people are clever. What do I got here? Let me see. I got a few. I don't know let me see how many I've been through. One, two, three, four,
You
five,
said
six.
Julie. I thought of Julia by Limbeck.
Oh, that's a great tune, man. Boy,
I think
that's the
that's
tune that
from Hi, Everything's
Hi,
Great
everything's
or
okay. That's the one. Yeah, Hi, everything's great or
something
okay.
like that.
Yeah, it's great. By the way, it's Hi, everything's great. That's the one that Todd Long hooked us all on.
Yes,
Was
that's a
Julia
great record.
because we played that whole trip. We listened to that album in the van the whole time, and we were loving it.
There's
And then
some
we go ahead.
there's a dark one by Jason Isbell called A Vet.
Yeah, that's
It's a
off
it's on
Southeastern.
Southeastern. Yeah,
Yeah,
really dark. And he's
yeah.
got Daisy May too. That's a good
Oh
one.
yeah, that's a good one. I have. I'll throw in a few of mine in the interest of time here. I have Becky's Bible by Chris Knight. Do you know that tune?
I do not.
So it's
I probably do. I just
you
not.
do. It's off. I think it's off the record. Pretty good guy.
Yes, I
And
have that one. Okay.
it's the opening track where he's like, my son and I both love this song a lot, and it's because Chris kills in it. And
Well, he
we always
mentions her
laugh.
a lot, Rebecca.
Yes, yep, yeah. She's in Framed. It's
Dry Rebecca's
Dry
eye.
Rebecca's eyes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a Becky, maybe
Yes.
his girl, wife, whatever. And Becky's Bible, though, the whole gist is, he's playing cards with these, you know, a couple dudes he knew from work and one old boy they worked with from Adair, which is some town. And he's like, that boy didn't like me. Then he said I was cheating and gunshots rang. So he shoots him, of course, because he's Chris Knight.
Yeah.
And he does not negotiate. The whole gist is Becky's Bible part um is he takes off. He's running and he says he wonders if Becky's Bible is still in the glove box because I'm sure gonna need it if that boy dies,
Yeah.
which is a great line. I also have Hey Julie by Fountains of Wayne,
Oh yeah.
which is killer. There's in Scrubs. Watch, there's a whole sequence with that song. JD, the main character, love interest thing. Hey Julie, it's killer. I have Josephine by Slobberbone. Do you know that song?
Oh yeah. Is that
It's off. My guess is it's off. Everything you thought was right was wrong today,
or Crow
and
Pot
it's
Pie? Or maybe I don't know.
nope. It's off. It's off. I think it's off. Everything you thought was
Okay.
right was wrong today. I don't think it's on Barrel Chested. It might be. It's on one of those two records, and it's that's the one where you know, the whole thing is this girl Josephine, and he, he climbs like a water tower and he sprays "I love you" on it. He gets arrested. His only call is to Josephine, and then I think ultimately takes his own life.
Mm.
And so, and then I have a ton. That's the end of my main list. And then, of course, I have My Michelle by Guns N' Roses, Fly High Michelle by Enough's Enough.
Oh yeah.
I have Amanda by Waylon Jennings. That was a
Waylon.
big
Yep.
tune for me. That was a big tune for me as a kid. We had like
Martha.
the
Dutch
prettiest
Henry.
girl in my dude. That's a great tune. That should be on my list. That's a great. So here's a side story. this kind of shit doesn't happen to me, but it happens to Greg Miller. I get like an email, a random email from, and this happens like every 6 months or a year, honest to God, some random person from somewhere in the world will find me on Facebook and send me a message and either ask if Dutch Henry's still playing, if they can get a copy of something. But this kid sends me a message and he's like, could I please get the lyrics to Martha? He's like, and he's in Brazil or something. And so I connect him with Greg. I'm like, well, I'll get you the dude who wrote the song, and
Yeah.
he'll write them down for you. That is, I mean, I'm partial because I've said this a lot. I grew up pretty much from 14 until today. I really idolized Greg Miller as a musician. He was such a kind guy when he didn't have to be, because all the guys who played really well in my hometown, they're now as a grown man. We're all friends and they're all sweet, but some of them were just straight dicks, man. They were just dicks. Like there was a guy in our town who I know now and I'm friends with. Anytime he would mention my band or who I was in a band with, Todd, he would call it our little band. Your little band. Todd and John's little band is
trying to talk it down. Yeah.
Trying to talk it. Greg Miller could do that to anybody. He could have easily done that and he never did. He would treat you like your band was doing the same shit his band was. And that wasn't the case.
Right.
He was light years ahead of everybody. But he wrote Martha after seeing like a Ken Burns documentary. And I mean, it's so literate and his wordplay is good in there, but it's not. The other thing about Greg's songs that I like is he's not trying to be super fancy. Do you know what I mean? He's pretty straightforward, but the choices of words are so good. I mean, there's a line in Martha that's like, if winter sets, dear, and if I'm still stuck here, don't be too proud to pay my folks a call. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm getting choked up thinking about it. It's such a good song.
Great song.
The
last song on 1973, right?
No, oh, yeah. And I think played live. Never in a gig, I don't think. I know Greg has played it on the radio, on a couple radio shows, and I played it with him on mandolin somewhere, and I played it with him on guitar somewhere. Like, and I'm almost guaranteeing it was radio shows, where we'd go draw straws for who had to drive down there at 6 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, that's a great tune. That dude doesn't get his props, man. He wrote Martha. He wrote 1973, which is a fantastic song. Smile about his daughter is a great song. All That Space is a great song. Yeah, that dude doesn't get his props because he's such a good guitar player. People only think of that because he's a monster guitar player, but he's a gifted songwriter. He's something I aspire to for sure. You got any stragglers on the list here?
There's a couple from the Jonathan Edwards record that I love. Emma and Jesse from that record.
I don't think I've ever written a song besides Hot Roxanne about like with a female name in it. There's some classics.
Paul Westerberg.
Dude, Black Eyed Susie from Sherry Knight's a great song too. That's on the Northeast Kingdom.
Not to be confused with the band Black Eyed Susan,
which was no hair metal talk.
Oh yeah,
that was Dizzy Dean's band, right?
It was.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, you know what, man, I'm talk about hair metal all I want. Did you see that Britney Fox is reuniting?
No, with Dean Davidson.
Yeah, with Dean Davidson, dude. There was something, I don't know what Britney Fox dude is out being Britney Fox right now. One of them. But like the rest of those guys were like, we can't let that be a representation of Britney Fox. So I think in 2024, they're going to try to put.
Oh, man.
Now, how important is that? How important is a Britney Fox reunion? I mean, it'll be bars and clubs and Harpo's and, the machine shop and which is cool. But you know what? I didn't think they were a terrible band. I really didn't.
I love that first record.
Yeah. And what was that one? Just self-titled.
Just self-titled,
Long Way to Love, Girls' School. Yeah, they were cool. Who did I see?
They had the Slade cover on there, right?
Goodbye to Jane was on there, I think. I saw them. Now, how's this for a night of similar sounding music? I saw them open for Cinderella.
Oh, wow.
That's
See, when I
kind of a
saw
lot of the same
Cinderella, it
thing.
was with Bon Jovi and the Bullet Boys.
Oh, I saw them. I've seen Cinderella a lot, but because I still like that band too. That's a great band. Um, I saw them with well, I saw them with David Lee Roth, open for Roth, but then I saw them like with Tesla,
Okay.
Cinderella, and Lita Ford or something like that. Yeah, it was cool. All right, no more girl songs. I mean, there's a ton too. There's all the standards, right? There's always going to be 8675309 Jenny, which is a great song.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm thinking of 80s. And that was I suppose it was always cool if you were if that was
Stacy's
your name.
mom.
Stacy's mom is a great. You know what? There's a tune that I would not have on my list, but it's not because it's not great. It's just because it's so overdone. But it was,
Yeah.
I mean, when that came out, dude, that's
Women who
awesome.
women who name their daughter Stacy are very presumptuous.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm
If you don't
trying to
get
think
that
if there's
reference, then listen to the song.
I'm trying to think of any other straggling female tunes. I mean, I there's Lady Madonna by there's tons of Beatles stuff, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and all that. Eleanor
Rosanna
Rigby.
from Toto.
That's a great tune. I love that song. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done it before. I should do that. Never had a.
Magnolia from JJ Cale. My mother-in-law, I think, mentioned that one.
Oh yeah, there were some good ones on our Facebook page too. And I should say this too. Apologies to anyone who happened to look at our Facebook page last week and see some splayed out female
Oh
offering her
yeah,
wares.
that's happened.
Just know that I got a text message from my wife that was like, dude, question mark, and a screenshot. I'm like, so I reply like, oh my, I said, we got hacked. And she's like, well, no shit. I didn't think you were. Of course. I mean, if there is some, you know, young lady who's peddling her wares like that and wants to partner up with the podcast and throw some dough our way, I don't know that I'm opposed to that. If you have an OnlyFans page you want to drive
Right?
people to,
Good
a
hell.
bunch of music nerds who are gonna like watch your adult video and then go, that music just didn't, it didn't connect with me when you were talking to the, cable guy and that song in the background. Was that the Fratellis? All right. So tell us what we're parting with today, man.
We're gonna end with a song today from a friend of mine who I saw last Saturday. Her name's Melissa Dillon. She played with Nathan Walton
Who they're both great. I've played with both of them, as a
at
matter
the
of fact.
Stray, which is a great place in Grand Rapids. It's an awesome place to go see a show. They're music focused, so
Yeah, killer.
I love Melissa. She's been a friend for a while. She's opened a lot for the guys in Barrel Bones too back in the day.
Oh,
So
and I mean, she's hosts open mic nights. She sings
yeah,
covers. Yeah, she's
she's a
done
big
a ton
Jimmy
of
Eat
stuff.
World fan like me. So
She played with. Why did I played the Tip Top with her, and I don't remember who
yes,
the other person was. It was someone national though. It was her, I, and
Sarah Borges,
maybe
I think.
it was something like that though. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was good too. I remember it was a Sunday, a matinee type gig, and I remember that day specifically. I remember Melissa was really good that day. It was
yeah,
like really
she's
good. Yeah, very cool.
so
All
you're
right,
gonna
so
hear
what song are we listening to?
Break Me from Melissa Dillon.
All
She
right,
has
check it
you
out.
can find them on Spotify. She has three songs out there. Break Me, Stranger and Glass, I believe, those three.
Okay.
So
And is I know is a pretty voracious writer, I believe. So probably more stuff coming down
tons
the
more
pipe.
songs. Yeah.
Good.
So she's got some gigs coming up. So just keep an eye out for her on
Yeah.
Facebook or Instagram. And
And make sure you tell her that we sent you too. We need these folks to know that, at least sharing their music here is at least turning them on to some new fans, right?
right, hope so.
All right. So here it is. And the title again, Scott?
Break Me by Melissa Dillon.
All right, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you. See you next time.